Rev up your engines!
Well, more Mazda bad news. 39,000 2024 CX-90s are recalled because the engine may not restart after the stop-start features stops the car and then it doesn't restart. Now, I hate those systems anyways because they lead to excessive engine wear. I don't care what anyone says. The worst thing for an engine is startup. It's sitting there dry, then you start it up. Oil's got to be pumped to the top of the engine. It's not good for cars. Cars that have those, I see over time, the engines wear out faster, they burn oil faster, the starters wear out faster, the batteries wear out faster. Stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. It's stupid, right? Well, in this case, it stops and then it doesn't start back up. Boy, how'd you like to buy a new car? These are 1 year old or brand new ones that it stops and doesn't restart itself. And here's the solution. Yet another software solution. No one knows if it'll fix it or not, but the dealers have to reprogram the powertrain control module and the battery energy control module software. Now, realize that these things, when you get into these complex systems, they have so many computer modules. Some cars have 99 separate computer modules, big ones, little ones, because everything is run by computers. And they made them so complex that when they have problems, then they hope or they pray a software fix will fix it. Because if they had to replace all the body control modules, all the PCMs, powertrain control modules, in all these cars, it would cost them a small fortune. So, oh, it's a software. We'll fix it with software. Software doesn't always fix it. It just shows you how complex these things are. These are brand new cars, 2024, and they're having problems now. When they get old, imagine the problems they're going to have when they don't fix them for free and you got to pay for it. So I say, sometimes too much technology? No, and start-stop technology is just plain stupid. They want to appeal the government pollution stuff that the cars shut off now, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't save that much energy. So you sit there for 40 seconds with the engine turned up, but then it starts up. And you know what happens when you start up an engine? It pollutes a little bit more because it always has a little bit extra gas, so it puts out a little more hydrocarbons. It's just plain stupid. These moronic politicians get involved in engineering they don't understand. And then, wow, now you got one that stops, but it doesn't restart itself. How would you like to have a car like that you just bought having such a problem? I certainly wouldn't want to have one. Well, Chrysler lack of quality still showing through. Chrysler's now recalling a bunch of 33,000 trucks because the stability control system may not work. You know why? They got these rings on the bearing system in the front. And the sensors measure the ring so that if you slam on the brake and if the ring stops, that means your wheel's locked up, so it's got to release pressure to the brake system, the anti-lock brake system, so it doesn't lock up. Well, guess what? They might not have made these rings correctly. Now, these are just metal rings, pretty simple technology, but Chrysler can't even do that. Turns out that the front wheel hub and coater rings may be damaged. Maybe damaged in new cars. That means they damaged them when they built them. Either the people that put them on or the robots, oh, they bent the things and now they don't work right because they're damaged. This is poor quality control right off of the bat, right? And that's the thing that's really plaguing Chrysler. The unions are arguing, we want more money. Now they're fighting them and they're taking them to court saying, well, you promised us all these jobs and now you're firing people. Look, if you make crap and people don't buy it, there's not going to be jobs eventually because people will stop buying them and the company will go out of business. That's how it works in the real world, not the fantasy world where, oh, well, everybody else gets more money, we get more money. It doesn't matter if we make crappy vehicles. Who cares, right? Well, eventually the rubber hits the road, and when people stop buying the things and the guys don't have jobs, they can all be scratching their head thinking, I don't understand what went wrong. Well, I do. Bad quality, bad vehicles equals bad sales. Enough bad sales, company goes, well, they had the ratings out. You might want to guess what is the safest compact SUV that's available in America. Well, the winner was the Mazda CX-30. I agree with this analysis because I had a customer. He came and visited me here in Rhode Island. He bought one. He's in New York City. And what is the guy? He is an EMT on an ambulance in New York. And he did all the research. He got it for his wife. And he said, I wanted the safest possible car because I have to go to all these car wrecks in New York City and rescue these people. Some of them get killed. It is a very safe vehicle. The ratings are all good on it. It's got great airbags on it. They're kind of not too high so they don't roll over like other SUVs do. And they're affordable too. You want a base one? They're only $24,500. The average new car in the United States is now $47,000. So you can almost get two of these, and they're extremely safe. I gotta say, hey, they're doing something right at Mazda there. If you were wondering, safe little SUV. And I have to agree. That ENT ambulance dude, he said, I did a lot of research. This is what I bought, and I'm real happy with the car. So, if you're looking for safety, you might check out one of those Mazdas. Well, Mazda's recalling over 150,000 vehicles. Looks like their quality control started to go down like some of the Toyotas have. Mazda and Toyota have a pretty tight relationship. They make cars on the same assembly line down, I believe it's in Alabama, same factory, same assembly line. The defroster, seatbelt warning, 360-degree monitor function, and the PHEV high-voltage battery cooling system may not function properly. It might cause a crash. It might start a fire. We'll fix it with a software update. Everything's software update, right? I can't see a software update stopping the car from starting on fire. Now, a lot of these vehicles are plug-in hybrids. Plug-in hybrids have a very large battery. The regular hybrids, they got a tiny one, not all that big, fits in the back seat of the car, but the plug-in hybrids have big, giant ones. And obviously, they're having problems with those systems. These things have not been perfected. I'll tell you the truth of the matter. Let's say you want to buy a hybrid. Stick to a plain hybrid, Camry hybrid, or a Honda hybrid. But don't buy a plug-in hybrid. The standard ones, you don't plug them in. They charge themselves up while you're driving. The plug-in ones have such a larger battery. They have lots of problems. The battery, because of its size, is almost always under the car, so salt in the winter gets on there from the road salt. Where the regular hybrids, they got the batteries inside the car, just like you, sitting inside the cabin, under the seats, or in the trunk, where the weather doesn't affect them. They have not perfected these plug-in hybrids yet. I would not advise buying one, or you might end up in a problem like this, or say it's 4 or 5 years old, that electric battery under there, and the wiring often gets corroded. Even Toyota with their plug-in hybrid RAV4s. They had problems in Canada where the salt and the cold weather got to them, ate up the wiring to them. That doesn't happen to the non-plug-in ones, like just the plain old Prius. They didn't have those problems in Canada with the Priuses because the battery's inside. Well, old Elon's done a 180. Now he's saying that it's pointless to build a $25,000 car. Oh, don't worry, I'm going to build a $25,000 electric car just so people can afford it, blah, blah, blah. Well, now he's saying it's pointless because probably he couldn't do it. But now he's saying, well, it's pointless to build these things because we're going to all be driving around in cyber taxis where they'll drive themselves. Why build regular cars that people are going to drive, right? Come on now, let's go in the real world. Self-driving cars are so far in the future, if it ever comes to fruition. Waiting for that is like waiting for the flying cars. When I was a kid in the 60s, yeah, we're all going to have flying cars. Well, there aren't yet. That was 65 years ago, and they're still saying, oh, well, flying cars are coming, right? A lot of baloney going on there. Yeah, well, don't worry. I'm going to build a cheap $25,000. Oh, now it's pointless to even bother building them now. Well, we'll see what happens now that old Donald got reelected, and Elon is going to be his right-hand man, I guess. He gave him all that money. Who knows what he's going to do now? He might get involved in government stuff. Donate all of his money to the public good, you know. I can't see that happening, but you never know. Maybe he'll have some kind of a premonition, and he'll donate a bunch of money to do things to make things better. Who knows? Maybe he'll give up on Tesla. Who knows what's going to happen? Other than he said, well, it's pointless to build $25,000 car, so I'm not going to build one. Well, if you wonder why Jeep sales are down, a lot of it has to do with bad quality, and some of their stories are hilarious. One woman says, if I'm driving on the interstate, my window has to be down or the whole car vibrates. I got a brand new Jeep now. Every month it's something else. Never again will I buy one. Yeah, their quality isn't all that great, especially since Stellantis took over. Bad enough when Fiat took over, it was going down. Now it's like fell off a cliff. But she still says about the Jeep, but it's so beautiful. Yeah, you know, that's how Chrysler sold products for years. They did make good-looking cars. My grandfather, who was also a mechanic, he kept thinking these Chryslers are made like crap, even decades ago. He told me they're the worst cars out there, right? But people like them because they look good. People are like crows. They see a shiny object, they want it. They buy it and then find out they fall apart in front of their very eyes. And the issue with her 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee include car suspension problems, airbags, electrical system, engine problems, exterior lighting, and forward collision avoidance system. It's got so many recalls, make your head spin. This Jeep model already has had 13 different recalls. Unlucky 13 if you owned one. And even Consumer Report says, we expect the 2024 Grand Cherokee to be less reliable than the average new car. So really, I'm not making this stuff up. I work on it. I see what's good and what's bad. And when people get vehicles like this, they remember it. Guess what? They don't buy another one, and they tell their friends, too. Another person says, I spent a month taking my Jeep back and forth to the dealership. Then I traded in for a Honda. Lack of quality. People who own them are mad, and that's why they got so many of them lying around unsold. That's just the tip of the iceberg, these few people. There's many people that got it. All the recalls that they have. And then Chrysler wonders, well, Stellantis wonders, what's wrong? What's wrong? Oh, we'll change the colors. We'll put new features in them. No, build them right in the first place. The thing is, if you don't build a car that's reliable, guess what? Eventually, people will wise up and they'll stop buying them. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.